Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati uttamashloke Bhaktir bhavati nishtaki. Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Śrī Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna. We are reading Srimad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 6, entitled The Killing of Demon Putna. We read till text number 11 yesterday, where Krishna has sucked the life air, not just the milk, but the life air out of Putana. And she is calling and crying and shouting, Muncha, Muncha, leave me, child, leave me. And the pain she was undergoing was unimaginable. Krishna is the ultimate acupuncturist or acupressurist. He pressed Putna's breast with his little hands. And this Rakshasi, who was so strong, so ghora, so expert in Balghatini, was perspiring. Her eyes wide open, her arms and legs were flailing or swinging, and she was crying, leave me, my child. And we also discussed that Krishna had called out for Lord Shiva, you take the poison, you like poison, and I will drink milk. So that was the point where we left last time. We will move forward and read the next verse, which is text number 12 of the 10th canto, 6th chapter of Bhagavatam. Tasyaha swanena naniti garbhirarams hasa sadrir mahi dyauscha chachala sagriha rasadishascha pratinendri janaha petu shitau vajjanipata shankya. Translation and purport by Abhayacharana Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. As Putana screamed loudly and forcefully, the earth with its mountains and outer space with its planets trembled. The lower planets and all the directions vibrated, and people fell down, fearing that thunderbolts were falling upon them. Purport. Śrīla Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur remarks that in this verse, rasa refers to the planetary systems below the earth, such as Rasatal, Atal, Vital, Sutal, and Talatal. Hare Krishna. So very, very vivid description here about what happened further in this when Putana is crying out loudly and Muncha, Muncha, leave me, my child, leave me, leave me. She is in great pain. She is in agony. She is crying. And just to give a context, we are at Bhutala, Bhumandala, which includes Earth, and there are 7 planets below and 6 above. So Earth or Bhumandala is 8th from bottom, 7th from top, somewhere in the middle. Atala, Vitala, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal. So the point here is, and these are like thousands and thousands of miles down. So the vibrations caused by the trembling, by the loud roaring, by the loud screaming, that everyone was falling down. The people fell down. It was like thunderbolt, like Vajra Nipata. But the little baby child was still hanging in there, holding Putana's breast. So this is the beauty of the Lord. His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj was explaining that the Lord is Lord even when he's 6 days. At this point, Krishna is only 6 days. Everyone, till the Rasatal, the trembling is going on, as if fearful thunderbolts are falling upon everyone. And loud, like, just imagine the scene. The earth with its mountains, even the mountains are trembling. The mountains, are known for their, steady like a mountain. Their steadiness, when we give an analogy, we say, oh, his determination is steady, rock solid like a mountain. But here the mountains are also trembling. But Krishna is not trembling. Although he's a 6-day baby, but he is the one who makes everyone trembles, including Putana. So just gives us kind of a very graphic view of what scene is going on. So we'll move to the next verse. Text 13. Who would like to read this? Yes, Vipul Prabhu, want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Honorable devotees, Pranam, all questions, Śrīla Prabhupada, text 13. Nishachuritam Bhavathito Sthana Vyashur Bhayadayo Kesham Charano Bhuja Api Prasharyam Gosthe Nijo Rupam Asthita Vajrahato Brita Iva Patam Nripo. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Śrīla Prabhupada ki joy. In this way, the demon Putana, very much aggrieved because her breast was being attacked by Krishna, lost her life. O King Parikshit, opening her mouth wide and spreading her arms, legs, and hair, she fell down in the pasturing ground in her original form or as a Rakshasi, as Britasura had fallen when killed by the thunderbolt of Indra. Purport: Putana was a great Rakshasi who knew the art of covering her original form by mystic power. But when she was killed, her mystic power could not hide her, and she appeared in her original form. So, as Krishna said that Mrityu Sarvasya Haraschaham. So, when killed by Krishna, died, even the covering or the form that Rakshasa took, that is lost, and she is uncovered. So whatever mystic power like that demonic people might have, or the power they gather, But if they don't surrender to Krishna, they'll lose everything. And if it doesn't use for the Krishna service. Back to Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. There are a lot of beautiful lessons in here that the contrast is given here, or the analogy is given as Vritrasur had fallen when killed by the thunderbolt of Indra. So we read this story in, I think, Canto 6-7 of the Bhagavatam. So there are two things to relate from Vritrasur. Vritrasur's size, if we see in this picture, Vritrasur was extraordinarily mighty, very, very strong. There's so many pictures of Vritrasura. So his size was very huge. And the second aspect is that Vritrasur was a demon in disguise, and he became an eternal associate of the Lord. And so does apply for Putana as well. When she was dead, she also became a mother, Adhatri, Kamvadayalu, Sharanam, Rajema. She also became an eternal associate of the Lord. What to speak, an eternal associate? She became the mother, the Dhatri, the nurse in the spiritual world. So two things from Vritrasur. Now, by Krishna's touch, we come into our original form. That's also a beautiful lesson. Krishna touched her and she came to her true colors as a demoness. She could not hold her artificial beauty or artificial makeup she had made externally to impress the Gokulavasis, the Nanda, the people in the Raja. But when Krishna touches, then she could not, one cannot hold, one comes. So the other lesson is that similarly the holy name is touching us. Krishna through holy name is touching us. Krishna through Bhagavatam is touching us. Krishna through Prasadam is touching us. Krishna through Guru, devotees, so many ways is touching us. So we will also come to our true Sarupa by the touch if we take it properly. The other lesson is Putana was in trouble. Putana was suffering. Putana was in pain. And at that time, adversity, in the time of difficulty or agitation, the greatness of a person is tested in provoking circumstances or difficult circumstances. When the circumstances are nice, it's easy to say big words, big philosophy. Oh, you're not the body or the soul. Oh, don't worry. Oh, this happened. Someone, loss of a dear one, loss of a job or something, health challenge, emotional challenge, financial challenge, or any relationship challenge. It's easy to give philosophy. But when those adversities come upon oneself, then how much one has realized that knowledge will be tested. So until that point, the knowledge isn't just in the head. We may know a lot of shlokas, we may know a lot of verses and stories from the Bhagavatam. But the real test is when it times to come to application. Both the good practices and the provocative circles. The good practices means opportunities to serve, come. Then it's the test. Similarly, in the challenging situation, if someone, like I heard a class today, someone could give a seminar or managing anger, how to overcome anger, how to manage anger. And then someone, he gets down and says, hey, your class was like very bad and you didn't say this, you didn't say that, and you were, and the person gets angry. So what's the point of giving a class on anger management and just after the class getting angry? No point. So the real test is in provocative circumstances. So Putana, like the parrot, even Even Arjuna asked in chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita that how do great people speak? Well, great people speak through their mouth. The real point is, everyone speaks through their mouth, but the point is here that how do great people behave in provocative circumstances? Like a parrot also chants Hare Kṛṣṇa. A parrot also can chant Hare Kṛṣṇa, can repeat. But when you pull the tail, then they will say harsh words. Similarly, what comes out, as well as Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj mentions, when we squeeze the orange juice will come out. When we squeeze up mango juice will. Similarly, when we squeeze when we collect neem leaves or neem twig, we will get neem juice out of it, which is bitter. So what is in comes out. Inside the orange is an orange juice, so that will come out. So if inside myself there is bitterness, anger, lust, greed, envy, when squeezing means provocations, provocative circumstances will come, then those words will come out. Those actions will be exhibited through my words, through my behavior, through my every aspect. So this is also a very important lesson. Also, one other lesson here is that why earth, Putana fell on the earth, fell down in the pasturing ground. These pasturing grounds were also actually special fruit trees of Kamsa. So she did not fell on any gopa, any gopi, any cows or anything. Her size was about 6 kosha. That's equivalent to about 11 kilometers or about 7 miles. Very long. 7 miles. Therefore, she is compared to as Vritrasura, because his size was also very, very long. So 7 miles, just imagine, 7 miles. It takes 10 minutes maybe by car to drive that distance. 7 miles, you keep driving your car at like 50 miles per hour, then you'll cross Putana. Just to give context. If you're driving your car at 50 miles per hour, it will take 10 minutes to cross Putana. That was her size. So humongous. Let's read the next verse.
Prabhuji, good question. So in one of the phrase earlier that I read, Krishna thought about the activities that Putana did and decided to kill, right? And that's why she's dead now. But then she was given a good, like a mother. You just said, right? She was given a position of a mother to serve. So if Krishna wouldn't kill her, then she wouldn't get that good position there, right? So how should we take it? Like maybe if she is good and she did not do anything bad, probably she would still live. Because she's dead now, and of course because of Krishna she's dead. That's why she's given as mother. So maybe if she is still alive, she would be in association with Krishna, and I don't know. Please add.
Well, in one way, the body is, body and soul analogy is analogy, not an analogy, to the 101 of Bhagavad Gita. So same applies for the demon also. They're in the demon body, but the eternal spirit soul is eternal. So as we discussed in the previous verses, that when Bali Maharaj came, when Vaman Dev came to beg for 3 steps of land, have you heard that story? Bali and Vamana?
No, Prabhu. Maybe I missed it. Yeah.
I shared a picture. You heard of Vaman Dev? Vaman Dev in Dashavatara? Who begged
Yes,
like
Prabhu.
a dwarf.
Yeah, I now I recall. I've heard the story. Like three boons, three steps, and then the last one would be on his head, right?
Correct.
One on the
So,
top, one at the bottom.
yes. So when Vamandev came, asked for 3 steps of land, he said, you're a very tiny boy. Your intelligence is also very small. This is how he came with beautiful umbrella and kamandalu and deer skin and belt. It's nice description in Bhagavatam and a staff. And everyone was very charmed to see him. And Bali Maharaj said, okay, what do you want? He said, just 3 steps of land. He said, well, just 3 steps. You're very unintelligent, looks like. Ask for something big. I can give you acres of land. I can give you jewels and whatnot. He said, no, one who is not happy with what one gets will not be happy with whatever one gets. He said, okay, give me 3 steps of land. Okay, tathastu. First step, he covered all the lower planets. Second step, all the upper planets. Third step, where to keep. So he said, okay, keep in my feet. So it is mentioned, not exactly. So Ratnamala was the sister of Bali Maharaj. When she saw the baby Vamana, babies are adorable to everyone. So she felt to be like a mother to the baby, to be caring and loving towards the baby, and to feed her milk. Because the baby was like maybe a 5-year-old or less than that. But then when Vamana took everything from Bali, she was like envious. What a cruel person. You took everything from my mother, I will feed you poison. So she had 2 desires. Krishna is such a great personality that he simultaneously fulfilled both the desires. She could feed poison and she could feed milk. But at the same time, Krishna is so magnanimous that he did not consider the desire of feeding the poison as a big thing. Okay, ईश्वर स्वभावेर भक्तिर न लाय अपराध, भक्तों का अपराध नहीं लेते. He only sees good. Alpa seva, bahumani. Alpa means little, seva means service, bahu means a lot. Little service, he magnifies it. So we should also try to follow this. If someone does only little service, we should magnify that. If someone does anything wrong, we should close our eyes towards that. We discussed that point. Why Krishna closed his eyes? To not see the bad in others. And why Krishna magnifies it? Lord Jagannath has big eyes to magnify the good. And Ranganath has eyes almost closed to not see the bad. So therefore, Krishna is so merciful that he fulfilled both the desires parallelly. And therefore, anyone seeing the sight of Krishna while on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, they also got liberation. What to speak of someone getting the divine touch of the Lord? And what to speak of even someone had little positive desire? Compared to other demons, Putana was very much better because she had little desire to serve. Others had only desire to kill, like Bakasur and others who will come later. Therefore, that's a special thing for Putana. Does that help or answer your question?
Yeah, it does, Prabhu. It does. But if she was alive, meaning Krishna wouldn't kill her, probably she might be doing something good, like, and then maybe she would have stayed like with Krishna, like with gopis and so forth, right? Probably. I don't know.
Well, she was a demoness, so I'm not sure how that would happen.
Yeah, that's true. By nature, she's demon, right? She wouldn't be doing good anyway. Got it, Prabhu. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Until one gets the pure hands of Krishna, and we'll see that. It'll come in the following verses. Then only all the impurities are washed away by the touch of the Lord. And same is applicable. That's what we are doing. Chetu Darpana Marjana. By the touch of the holy name, the impurities are washed away. This story is not Putana's story. This is actually our story. I have so many impurities, Putana, inauspiciousness, lust, anger, greed. All these are Putana inside. By the touch of the Lord, through Bhagavatam, through Gita, through Prasadam, it's basically we are touching, or the Lord is touching us and killing the putana, the impurities inside us, so that we can come to our true Swarupa and be re-established in our eternal service to Lord. Okay, text 14. Yes, Shilpa Mataji, you want to read?
Yeah, I'll try, Prabhu. Patamanopitat dehas trigavitye antaradruman churnayam asah rajendra mahad asittad adbhutam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada Ki Jai. O King Parikshit, when the gigantic body of Putana fell to the ground, it smashed all the trees within a limit of 12 miles. Appearing in a gigantic body, she was certainly extraordinary. Purport: because of the grievous hurt imposed upon her by Krishna sucking her breast, Putana, while dying, not only left the room but abandoned the village and fell down in the pasteurizing ground in her gigantic body. Okay, Prabhu, I think you've already explained in the previous verse, right? She is the limit of 12 miles. I was imagining driving and then the same thing that you mentioned. So it looks like she fell, and then, as you said, she did not fall on any of the humans or cows or so forth, but she fell on into the forest-like place, like trees, and then much of the 12 miles, if we consider as a village, and that would be very small, right? So it looks like most of the village is destroyed or became abandoned after she fell. That's what Prabhupada is explaining here, I think. Prabhupada.
Thank you.
Hare
Thank you
Kṛṣṇa.
so much. So, Adbhutam. Very, very wonderful. This gigantic body was so big, 12 miles. Somewhere mentioned 10 miles, somewhere 18 miles. But the point is, it's in miles. Have you seen anyone, where we say is 10 miles long, 12 miles long? We have not seen such a living being in our, maybe even the biggest fishes and all, or whales are not that big. So, but interestingly, she went and fell down at the very place where Kamsa's favorite fruit gardens were there. Those who try to, dig a ditch for others, they themselves fall into it. So Kamsa had sent Putana to kill Krishna, and the same Putana became a cause of agitation for Kamsa by destroying the best fruit orchards and pasturing grounds he had. That's one point here. And now, of course, she's out of the room. She's no more in the room, and everyone is seeing, and then people are already falling because some are unconscious. And where is Krishna at all this point? Krishna is still hanging there. Just imagine. Before she fell down, she was wavering, right? Now this boy, he's up almost, stuck at the middle part of Putana's body, holding her breast, which is, at least when she is standing, they must be at least 8-9 miles up. So Krishna has no safety ropes and no nothing, 6-day old, and then he's just holding, and then the Putana falls down. And she does not fall down like on her belly or on her breast, because Krishna was on that side. So she falls down on her back, and the Lord, as you'll see. So everything is very, very systematic because the Lord is there. So Krishna is God, even on the lap of his mother, even these 5 days, 6 days, he's the Supreme Lord at all times. Yes,
So maybe now Kamsa would know, because his fruit trees and all are destroyed, right? He would know, maybe he would find out.
Yes, we will. I think we'll certainly come to that for sure. The news will certainly reach out to him.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Manjula, you want to read the next verse?
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Ishamatro-kradram strasyam girikandar-nasikam gandashailastanam raudram prakirnarurnamurdhajam andhakupagabhiraksham pulinarohabhishanam baddhasetu bhujorvangri shunyatoya Radodaram Santatra Suhasma Tadvikshaya Gopa Gopya Kalevaram Purvam Tu Tannihaswanita Binnarit Karnamastaka. Translation. The Rakshasi's mouth was full of teeth, each resembling the front of a plough. Her nostrils were deep like mountain caves, and her breasts resembled big slabs of stone fallen from a hill. Her scattered hair was the color of copper. The sockets of her eyes appeared like deep blind wells. Her fearful thighs resembled the banks of a river. Her arms, legs, and feet seemed like big bridges, and her abdomen appeared like a dried up lake. The hearts, ears, and heads of the cowherd men and women were already shocked by the Rakshasi's screaming, and when they saw the fierce wonder of her body, they were even more frightened. Thank you, back to you.
Hare Krishna. So in these 3 verses, there is a very vivid description about Putana's dead body. Now, in the previous verses, towards the beginning of the chapter, if you see, like verses 5 and 6, are the description of Putana's body when she was coming, or disguised body. But this is her true form. Her true colors are shown here in verses 15 to 17. The dead body's description, basically. Now she has fallen down to the ground, and she is 10 to 12 miles long. So Isha Matra Ugra Damshtra. Damshtra is teeth. So her teeth were like the plow or the axe. It's very, very fearful. In short, all these are just explanations to help us understand that how humongous she was, the size of her body, the nostrils were like caves, the breasts were like big slabs of stone fallen from hill, the scattered hair like copper wires, color copper. Sockets of her eyes appeared deep like blind wells. Andhakupa, fearful thighs. In short, every part of her body is so big, so huge. Or what are these gopas and gopis in front of them? And look at our little baby Krishna. Still hanging in there, very calm, peacefully, not knowing, hey, what did this happen? I don't know. I'm innocent. I don't know what is all this going on. So he's like acting like an innocent child. He does not know anything, but he's the cause of all causes. So just to help us understand that how humongous and frightening, everyone was frightened. I mean, they were unconscious when she fell down. Those until, like, when a person is in pain, that she did not fall down like suddenly. She's wailing and running. She got out of the room and running, help, leave me, in great pain and running, and went all the way a little far, so that she can, when she falls down, Krishna is an expert driver navigating Putana to Kamsa's pasturing grounds. So, and right there, after a long time, and while all this is going on, what's happening is the trembling, because of the tsunami is happening, like the hurricanes are happening, because the mountains are trembling, what to speak of ordinary homes. So everyone is, in short, very, very fearful. And then finally, like a big mountain collapses, like Shanti, because now she is dead. Now let's see what happens when Putana is lifeless, and let's see what the Gopas and the Gopis do. Yes, Prem Sankirtan Prabhu, and to read.
Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhu, Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Text 18. Balam cha tasya urashi kridantam akuta bhayam goipasturnam samabhyeta jagrur jata sambhrama. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Without fear, the child Krishna was playing on the upper portion of Putana Rakshasi's breast. And when the gopis saw the child's wonderful activities, they immediately came forward with great jubilation and picked him up. Purport. Here is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Although the Rakshasi Putana could increase or decrease her bodily size by her mystic abilities, and thus gain proportionate power, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is equally powerful in any transcendental form. Krishna is the real personality of Godhead, because whether as a child or as a grown-up young man, he is the same person. He does not need to become powerful by meditation or any other external endeavor. Therefore, when the greatly powerful Putana expanded her body, Krishna remained the same small child and fearlessly played on the upper portion of her breast. Saraswajya Punna Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always full in all potencies, regardless of whether he is present in this form or that. His potencies are always full. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaya Shruyate. He can display all potencies under any circumstances. Hare Krishna. So here Srila Prabhupada is explaining, we can see that Krishna is Lila Purushottam. Lord Ramchandra was Marjada Purushottam. Not was, he is Marjada Purushottam. And Krishna is Lila Purushottam. So we can get a glimpse of one of his pastime. And we can see the contrast as Srila Prabhu was explaining, that he doesn't need to be, he's like 5 years old child, but he's showing his pastime. And we are so Shobhagyo means we are so lucky. We are hearing, listening this pastime from pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada. Such a nice pastime that we can see the contrast, how Putana is big and Krishna is so small. But still he is the supreme personality of Godhead. He knows everything, what's happening. And Prabhupada is explaining here that he is Saraswajya Purna. Krishna has all the 6 opulences. Like Saraswajya is like, there is a nice verse, I don't remember the verse, but the Bengal is that he has all the power, he has all the wealth, he has all the fame, he has all renunciation, he has all the wisdom, and he has all the beauties. So Krishna has all of them, and he's just showing his little potency. So here is such a nice pastime, just contrast, totally inconceivable for us, but to read and hear is so nice. I just want to share one thing. Actually, I'm sorry I came late, but I was hearing Shubhilash Prabhu's comment that why Putana. I just want to give this example of Shuparnaka and Lord Ramchandra. So, Shuparnaka actually, she was actually mesmerized by the beauty of both Lord Ram and Lakshman. And she came, she actually offered that she wants to marry Lord Ram. But Lord Ram has a promise that in that incarnation, he is going to be one, he's going to take only one wife, Ek Potnidhar. So he cannot, break his promise. So our acharyas are saying that Lord Ram was so merciful, so that nobody can marry Shuparnaka. So one of the beauty of the face of the girls or anybody's nose, we know that Krishna's nose is like sesame flower. That was, given the explanation by acharyas. So they cut the nose so that nobody can marry her. And then the next time when Krishna came, Krishna was, he was, we know that he has 16,108 wives. So he was, and that was Kuja who came, and Krishna actually made her beautiful and then accepted her. So Shubhilash Prabhu was explaining that even we are impure, but if we touch by Krishna, then we will pure, then Krishna will accept us. So that's the mercy of the Lord. Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhu, back to you. Please add or correct.
Thank you, Prabhu, for your wonderful comments and explaining this wonderful realizations. Another point which is coming to my mind here is as I was hearing the class by Maharaj, Krishna is not scared. Krishna is, because fear personified fears Krishna, because the Lord is not fearful. Kridantam, he is playing. Krida means to play. Akuto bhayam. And now the Gopas are also coming. They are also not fearful. They immediately came forward with jubilation. So what's the reason for jubilation? Why they jubilation means happy. They are happy. Quite straightforward, because their life and soul, Krishna, is safe. And this monstrous, gigantic Rakshasi, which could have potentially, because in their eyes they don't know, or that Yogamaya has covered that Krishna is Supreme Lord. So for them, Krishna is their little 6-year-old child, 6-day-old child. Putana's nail must be heavier than the ordinary 6-day-old baby. What to speak of the extent of harm Putana could cause an ordinary 6-day-old baby. in their eyes, in the eyes of Vrajavasis, Gopas, Gopis, Krishna is an ordinary boy. He's not the Supreme Lord. And that's the sweetness of Vraja. So they are seeing that they're so happy that basically Putna could have caused so much harm, but he is safe and he is still happy and doing playful, and their joy had no bound. They immediately came. Krishna was there playing, and they immediately picked him up with the same affection and respect they always maintained. So this is the love of the Gopas and the Gopis. They immediately came, although it must be hard, like they had to come up to a mountain because Putna's breasts were compared to like a mountain or big slabs of stone fallen from a hill. So this is, any other comments, thoughts in this verse or last few verses? Anyone wants to add or share anything? Okay, one last verse then. Before we pause. Text 19, who would like to read? Una Mataji or Muna Mataji? Or anyone of you in a position to read?
Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Text 19. Yasodarohini vyam tam samabalasya sarvatam raksham vidadhire samyagyo pucha brahmadabi divim. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Thereafter, Mother Yasoda and Rohini, along with the other elderly gopis, waved at the switch of a cow to give full protection to the child Sri Krishna. Purport. When Krishna was saved from the great danger, Mother Yasoda and Rohini were principally concerned, and other elderly gopis were almost equally concerned, followed the activities of Mother Yasoda and Rohini. Here we find that in household affairs, ladies could take charge of protecting a child simply by taking help from the cow. As described here, they knew how to wave at the switch of the cow so as to protect the child from all types of danger. There are so many facilities afforded by cow protection, but people have forgotten these arts. Okay. The importance of protecting cows is therefore stressed by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Krishi Goraksha Bhanijam Vaisya Karma Subha Bhajam. Even now in the Indian villages surrounding Vrindavana, the villagers live happily simply by giving protection to the cow. They keep cow dung very carefully and dry it to use as fuel. They keep the sufficient stock of grains, and because of giving protection to the cows, they have sufficient milk and milk products to solve all economic problems. Simply by giving protection to the cow, the villagers live so peacefully. Even the urine and stool of cows have medicinal value. Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhuji, back to you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Any comments you have from any reflections?
In this purport, Prabhupada is highlighting the importance of Gauseva and Gauraksha. How mother cow is taken as the source of livelihood and the source of protection, even in the time of protecting Krishna. Mother Yasoda and Mother Rohini, they were taking the help from mother cow to protect little Krishna. Prabhuji, that's my understanding. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for your association and reading this beautiful verse. So now, Putna is dead, at least. And then the Gopas and Gopis have taken the baby child, but they are concerned because anything could have happened to the child. They are very, very concerned. So they do this purification, and they start with Gopucha, Brahmanadibhi, etc. So many purificatory rites they are doing now. And the foremost, Go Brahmane Hitacha, Namo Brahmane Devai, Go Brahmane Hita, Jagadhitai Krishnai Govindai, Namo Namaha. So they are moving around cow tail around Krishna. Now, so-called modern people will see what is this. This is very, very Vedic. We're explaining the glories of cow. We may think cow dung as some waste. We may think cow urine is just some urine. But it is not just some urine of an animal. It has so much medicinal properties. It's so pure. It's so healing. It has so many properties for good health and good prosperity and manure and everything. Everything of a cow is auspicious. Right? So even the cow dung and the cow urine, what to speak of other. So the touch of a cow, the mother only wants the welfare of the child from head to toe, from in every hour of the day, every minute, every second. So cow is like a mother. But unfortunately, so many cows are killed. No one has cows at home. Rather, will have cats and dogs. So they basically, the culture is changing, or the culture is basically deteriorating. Prabhupada is writing, no one knows about these things. Rather, if someone is doing these, people will say, hey, this is very rural kind, very backward, very, very low class or something like that. They don't know. If someone touches cow dung or cow urine, my hands are gone dirty. That's a real antiseptic. But the whole point is because of our not being connecting to the roots, to the Vedic culture. So that's how the Mother Yashoda, the other gopis, Rohini, immediately performed these auspicious rituals by taking the tail of a cow and circumambulating his body. I remember that we did that one time. The cow was so happy, and we all were so happy. Just one little baby calf came. We were on a holy pilgrimage. The baby calf was, I don't know, we're so the cows are naturally so dear to everyone, but the baby cows are even more dear. So they just came close to us and they wanted some food. So we had something like a banana, so they ate, and everyone was getting the cow tail around their head and getting the blessings of cow. And the mother cow was just peacefully standing and giving her blessings, because mother is so loving and caring and wants to bless their children. So I can't forget that moment because it was so special, and you could see the joy and for a mother to bless the children gives her joy, And the children to receive the blessings of the mother gives the children joy. This is real, this is our roots. So whenever possible, we should certainly do our best for cow protection and be connected to our roots in this culture. Any comments before we wrap up for today? So we'll pause here. Mantra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Śrī Prabhupada ki jai, Go Mata ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhyaiva cha pāvanebhyo vaishnavibhyo. Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.